Listen, fellow Salem watchers. After decades of tuning into Days of Our Lives, I've seen my share of Resurrection Miracle's secret twins and plot twists that make your jaw hit the floor. But this one feels personal. Lexie Carver, Dr. Lexie Carver, the woman we all thought we lost forever in that heartbreaking whole family tragedy, is back. Not just back on the canvas, but stirring awake in the most unlikely place imaginable, the mysterious cell E.J. DiMera has been guarding, like it holds the crown, jewels of the DiMera Empire. And, if the latest whispers from the set are any indication, her return is going to rip open old wounds, shatter marriages, and force every Carver in DiMera to confront the ghosts they thought were buried. Let's start at the beginning, because EJ's role in all this is pure soap opera poetry. E.J. DiMera, that charming, calculating force of nature who's always walked the razor's edge between hero and villain, has been playing a long game. He's kept Lexie hidden away for reasons that go far deeper than simple brotherly love. This is atonement. This is EJ trying to rewrite the DiMera family's darkest chapter, one where Stefano's manipulations and the endless cycle of lies and the loss claimed his beloved sister's life. Fans who followed the show since the 90s remember how Lexie's death left a void. She wasn't just Abe's rock or Theo's devoted mother, she was the moral compass in a family that thrives on moral gray areas. EJ sees her return as his chance to finally do right by the DiMera name, to prove that blood isn't always a curse. He's poured everything into keeping her alive, hidden, and on the verge of waking. It's dramatic, it's obsessive, and it's classic EJ, equal parts redemption and control. And now, after all the build-up, Lexie has opened her eyes, not with a grand declaration or a scream of recognition, but with something far more intimate and devastating. She whispered her son's name, Theo, just that single word, soft and fragile, cutting through the sterile silence of her cell like a knife. I've been covering this show long enough to know when a moment like that signals the start of a seismic shift. Theo Carver, now a grown man navigating his own complicated legacy, has been sitting vigil beside her ever since the news broke. The scene is already writing itself in my head. Dim lighting, the beep of monitors, Theo's hand trembling as he grips hers. This is the reunion we've all been waiting for, but Days of Our Lives never lets happiness come without a price tag. The size of the DiMera mansion. Theo's reaction when he first learned his mother was alive, pure heartbreak wrapped in disbelief. Picture it, the young man who spent years coming to terms with her, lost building a life without her, suddenly hit with the ultimate betrayal. Joy, of course, raw, overwhelming joy that his mom is breathing, that she's here. But layered underneath is a storm of anger and confusion. Why the secrets? Why did EJ get to play God while Theo was left grieving? We saw it in his eyes during those recent episodes, the way his face crumpled when the truth spilled out. Theo has always been the steady one, the kid who inherited Abe's sense of justice and Lexie's quiet, our strength. Now he's torn between the family that raised him and the blood that's calling him back. And here's where the drama kicks into overdrive. Insiders are buzzing that Theo is actually taking EJ's advice to heart. Resign from DiMera Enterprises. Step away from the very company that's been both his opportunity and his curse, all to please his mother when she fully wakes. It's a bold move, one that screams Theo's desperation to prove he's still the son. Lexie remembers. But will it be enough? Or is it just the first domino in a chain reaction that could tear the DiMeras apart? Of course, no. Carver resurrection would be complete without the ripple effects, hitting Abe Carver square in the chest. Abe Salem's former police commissioner, the man who's embodied integrity through every scandal, and the scheme has finally found something resembling peace with Paulina. Price. Their marriage has been a hard-won haven after years of loss and loneliness. Paulina has brought fire and laughter back into Abe's life, and for the first time in a long while he seems settled. But Lexie's return changes everything. How do you explain to your current wife that the love of your youth, the mother of your child, is alive? The guilt, the what-ifs, on the inevitable pull of history. It's going to test Abe like nothing. To Ilse. I can already see the scene's tense conversations in the Carver living room. Paulina's fierce protectiveness clashing with Abe's quiet devastation. Will Paulina fight for her marriage? Or will old flames reignite in ways that surprise even the most jaded viewers? Lexie's comeback isn't just about one family. It's about forcing every character to question what forever really means. In a town where death is never final. Now, let's get to the million-dollar question that has every days of our lives fan buzzing in forums and group chats. Do I think Lexie wakes, pulls up with amnesia, and doesn't remember anyone? Oh, absolutely. And here's why. It's the perfect and diabolical twist this storyline needs. Imagine the scene we're all anticipating. Lexie's eyes flutter open fully for the first time. Theo is right there, heart on his sleeve, whispering mom like it's a prayer he's been holding on to for years. The camera pulls in close as her brow furrows in confusion. No spark of recognition, no flood of memories. Just a blank, polite stranger's gaze meeting her son's desperate one. Who are you? She might murmur, her voice still weak from whatever ordeal she's endured. It's devastating. It's classic soap. And it fits Days of Our Lives like a glove. This show has a legendary history with amnesia arcs. Think of all the times a character has returned from the dead only to lose pieces of themselves. It forces the audience to watch relationships rebuild from scratch, layer by painful layer. For Theo, it means proving he's her son all over again. Not through shared history, but through new acts of love. For Abe, it's a cruel second chance courting the woman he never stopped, loving while she looks at him like a kind but unfamiliar face. EJ, his atonement gets complicated fast. He brought her back, but now he has to watch her forget the very family ties he fought to restore. The drama doesn't stop there. Amnesia opens floodgates for new conflicts and alliances. Will Lexie, stripped of her past, form unexpected bonds with characters she once knew as enemies? Could her blank slate make her vulnerable to Stefano's lingering fuels, even from beyond the grave? And what about the medical side? Lexie was a doctor herself, after all. The irony of her needing the very expertise she once provided adds another layer of emotional gut punch. Writers have already planted seeds, the mysterious cell, the experimental treatments EJ arranged in secret, the long-term effects of whatever kept her suspended between life and death. This isn't a quick fix. It's a slow burn unraveling that could stretch months, pulling in the entire town of Salem. Theo's emotional journey alone could carry an entire arc. We've seen him grow from a troubled teen into a young man trying to escape the DiMera shadow. Now, sitting by his mother's bedside, he'll have to navigate joy and betrayal in the same breath. He'll replay every moment he wished for her return, only to face the reality that she might never fully come back to him. The resignation from DiMera Enterprises. It's not just a career move. It's Theo's declaration that family comes first. But EJ won't let that happen without a fight. Expect tense brotherly confrontations in the DiMera boardroom, EJ, using every ounce of his silver-tongued persuasion to keep Theo tied to the family business. She'd want you to be strong, EJ might say, voice low and intense, to carry on the legacy. Cue the fireworks. Meanwhile, Paulina Price isn't one to sit quietly on the sidelines. Her marriage to Abe has been a beacon of second chances, but Lexie's amnesia could turn it into a battlefield. Paulina's strength has always been her no-nonsense fire. She'll support Abe through the shock, but she won't surrender her happiness without a fight. Late-night hospital hallway conversations, whispered arguments at home, maybe even a moment where Paulina confronts Lexie directly once. She's stable. I love him too, she might say, eyes blazing. But I won't let history steal what we built. It's raw. It's real. And it's the kind of multi-layered conflict that keeps Days of Our lives on top after all these years. As someone who's analyzed every twist since the Marlena possession, Days, I'm convinced this amnesia angle will be the hook that keeps viewers glued. It raises the stakes for every interaction. Lexie won't just wake up and slap back into her old life. She'll have to rediscover it. Her friendship with Jennifer, her complicated history with the Horton family, her role as a doctor at University Hospital, all of it becomes a blank page. And in true soap fashion, that blank page could lead to surprising new romances, shocking revelations about what really happened during her death, and even a power struggle within the DiMeras as EJ's secret unravels publicly. The beauty of Days of Our Lives is how it weaves these personal earthquakes into the larger canvas. Lexie's return doesn't just affect the Carvers and DiMeras, it touches the whole town. Expect cameos from longtime favorites offering advice, medical consults from Kayla, and the hospital crew, and maybe even a ghostly Stefano vision haunting EJ's dreams. The pacing will be masterful, slow revelations mixed with explosive confrontation. Theo's bedside vigil, turning into daily therapy sessions as Lexie pieces together her identity, Abe torn between two loves, EJ facing the consequences of playing God. It's going to be messy, emotional, and utterly addictive. Will Lexie regain her memories? Of course she will, eventually. But the journey there is where the gold lies. Days of Our Lives has always excelled at these slow build redemption on stories, and this one has all the ingredients: love, loss, betrayal, and the unbreakable bond of family. Theo deserves his mother back. Abe deserves closure. EJ deserves his shot at atonement. But Salem rarely hands out happy endings without a few detours through hell. So, yes, I'm calling it now. Lexie wakes up with amnesia, and is going to be one of the most talked about arcs in recent The Memory. Grab your popcorn, Salem fans. The mysterious patient in the cell is about to turn the town upside down, and I, for one, cannot wait to see how it all unfolds. What do you think? Will Theo's sacrifice be enough? Or is this just the beginning of even bigger DiMera chaos? Drop your theories below. The drama is just getting started.